William Raymond Smith III, born July 4, 1981, and was tragically taken from this world April 9, 2016, was a star defensive end in the NFL. He played college football for Ohio State and was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in the first round of the 2004 NFL Draft, where he played the entirety of his career. Smith was shot and killed during an altercation in an alcohol-related traffic crash. Smith was born in Queens, New York, to William and Lisa Smith. He was raised in Utica, New York. At Proctor High School in Utica, Smith was a U.S. Today All-American pick. He was rated by Prep Football Report as the best defensive lineman prospect in the state. As a senior, Smith had 20 sacks. After dominating in high school, Smith was a four-year player at Ohio State University from 2000 to 2003. He helped leading the Buckeyes to the 2002 BCS National Championship, and he was named first-team All-American the following year. Smith shocked a lot of NFL scouts with his pre-draft workout, standing at 6'2", weighing 267 pounds. Smith ran a 4.5 in the 20-yard shoot, 7.42 in the three-cone drill, had a vertical jump of 38.5 inches, and a broad jump of 9 feet and 9 inches. Pretty impressive for such a big guy. Smith was selected as the 18th pick in the first round of the 2004 NFL Draft by the New Orleans Saints. He had a successful rookie season with 30 tackles and 7.5 sacks. In 2005, he had 48 tackles and 8.5 sacks, and played well enough that the Saints did not re-sign Darren Howard, thus making Smith the starting opposite Charles Grant for the 2006 season. Smith gradually established himself as one of the premier defensive ends in the NFL. In his first season as a full-time starter, Smith became the leader of the defensive line and emerged as one of the top NFL defensive ends. He was voted to the Pro Bowl and finished tied for 14th in the NFL with a career's best, 10.5 sacks. Smith played all 14 games, sitting out the final with the Saints, having clinched a playoff berth and also missing one contest with knee injury. The club's #1 pick in 2004 was a force from his arrival in New Orleans, notching 33.5 sacks in 4 seasons. His 26 sacks in the first 3 seasons are the second most in club history in so short of a span. Charles Grant did it with 27.5 in 2002 to 2004. In 2006, he was named to his first Pro Bowl as a starter. In 2007, Smith recorded a team-high 7 sacks, 66 tackles, and a safety. He sacked Carolina Panthers starting quarterback David Carr early in the season, ending Carr's season. In 2008, the Saints agreed to terms with Smith on a 6-year, $70 million contract with a $26 million guarantee. The deal made him the 3rd highest paid defensive end in the NFL for that year. On December 2, 2008, Smith was one of 6 players suspended for using bumetanide, a diuretic, which can be used as a masking agent for steroids. It is believed that the diuretic was found in StarCaps, a weight loss supplement that he had been taking. Smith's original punishment was announced as a 4-game suspension, covering the final 4 games of the 2008 regular season. Enforcement of the suspension was delayed as other players challenged the decision through federal and state courts, and the league allowed all players involved in the matter to continue playing pending a final resolution of the case. Smith's suspension was later reduced to 2 games and an additional 2 lost paychecks, and was served at the beginning of the 2011 NFL season. Under new defensive coordinator Greg Williams, Smith in 2009 just exploded. He had 13 sacks, 49 tackles, and 3 forced fumbles and 1 interception. He also gained honorable mention All-Pro by AP and SN. In 2010, he had 39 tackles and 5.5 sacks. In 2011, Smith had 35 tackles and 6.5 sacks. On May 2, 2012, Smith was suspended by the NFL for 4 games of the 2012 season because of his alleged role in the New Orleans Saints bounty scandal. Smith's suspension was ultimately overturned on appeal to former commissioner Paul Tagliabue. Smith started all 16 games of the 2012 season and was credited with 58 tackles and 6 sacks. For the 2013 season, Smith was slated to move to the outside linebacker position in the 3-4 defense, favored by the new defensive coordinator Rob Ryan. However, Smith suffered a knee injury, a torn ACL, in the Saints' 3rd preseason game against the Houston Texans on August 25, 2013, and was reported to be out for the season. On August 27th, the Saints placed Smith on injured reserve, ending his season. On February 12, 2014, Smith was released by the team, the New Orleans Saints. On April 5, 2014, Smith signed with the New England Patriots, but he was released on August 24, 2014, during the preseason. For his career, Smith had a total of 459 tackles, 67.5 sacks, 20 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries, and 2 interceptions. Hall of Fame numbers in my opinion. Now let's take a deeper dive into the death of William Raymond Smith III.
Actually stood over Will Smith's dead body as his wife, who had crawled away because she couldn't walk, was cowering and hiding. This Hummer drove up at great speed behind them and rammed the back of their car, causing the back windshield of their SUV to shatter, actually telling the shooter to leave us alone, to go back to your car, we have children.
On April 9th, 2016, Smith was involved in a traffic collision in which a Hummer driven by 28-year-old Cardell Hayes rear-ended Smith's Mercedes SUV in an ongoing confrontation that allegedly started with Smith's vehicle accidentally rear-ending the Hummer. The final collision caused Hayes' vehicle to collide with the vehicle in front of him and was hard enough to break the rear window in the Mercedes. Moments earlier, less than 2 blocks away, in the Lower Garden district of the New Orleans area, Hayes' vehicle had been hit by Smith's vehicle. Smith's vehicle contained Smith and his wife, Rachel, and 2 unnamed passengers. In the second collision, Smith and Hayes exchanged words when Hayes fired a handgun, killing Smith and injuring his wife. Hayes was arrested at the scene. During investigation, a fully loaded 9mm handgun was found in Smith's car. Hayes and the passenger in the vehicle claimed self-defense. After an investigation, the NOPD charged Hayes with second-degree murder. Results of a post-mortem toxicology report concluded that Smith had a blood alcohol content of 0.235 on the night of the incident, or nearly 3 times the legal limit which is allowed in Louisiana. Smith was buried on April 16, 2016. Trial began on December 5, 2016 in Orleans Parish Criminal District Court. On December 11, an Orleans Parish jury found Cardell Hayes guilty of manslaughter in the shooting of Will Smith and attempted manslaughter of his wife, Rachel Smith. On April 20, 2017, Hayes was sentenced to 25 years in prison for the charge of manslaughter and 15 years for the charge of attempted manslaughter, to be served concurrently. On April 19th, the day before the sentencing, the judge denied Hayes' motion for a new trial. 3 years to the day after Hayes was sentenced, the United States Supreme Court handed down Ramos v. Louisiana ruling, which declared that non-unanimous criminal convictions violated the 6th and 14th Amendments. Because Hayes had not exhausted his appeals, he was directly impacted in the Ramos decision, and the decision denying a new trial was reversed on November 19, 2020. On January 11, 2021, the Supreme Court vacated Hayes' conviction pending a new trial. Because Hayes was initially convicted of manslaughter, he cannot face charges greater than manslaughter in his retrial. I want to give a personal shout out to Will Smith. I was born and raised in New Orleans, and being a New Orleans fan, a Saints fan, was horrible growing up with the bags on our head. He gave us some type of hope. He was there to help restore and give us some respect in the NFL and actually help us win a Super Bowl. So I just want to say thank you for the memories and rest in peace, Big Dog. Thanks for watching. I've been your host, Sean Mack. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the video and get in that comment section as well. And tell me, do you think the murder of William Smith was justified and was it self-defense? And do you think he actually belongs in the NFL Hall of Fame? Once again, thanks for watching. Death After Sports. William Raymond Smith III.